Good morning, YouTube. It is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium, and in this video or video tutorial or for discussion today, we're going to talk about clairaudience, exercises I can give you to help you with that clairaudience, a couple of sort of pointers to help you sort of maybe look a little differently at clairaudience. I'm in the car this morning. I've been dropping my daughter off at work, so I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about these exercises, hints, tips, that type of thing. So many people's been asking me about clairaudience, and there was a particular gentleman, I think on a live a fortnight ago, asking me how to improve that. So the first thing I want to ask people, we're going to go back to basics, I suppose, is clairaudience is an ability to hear the spirit world. Now, lots of people think that they should be hearing clairaudience like I'm talking to you right now. Unfortunately, it's not actually like that. Clairaudience, you're probably only going to hear a couple of words. So maybe hello, or my name, or that's right, you know, just a couple of words. Now, that can be built and gained over time, and you can have like sort of conversations. Now, these conversations again are still quite sporadic as well. So it might be, hello, my name is fill in the blank. I'm your guide. And the conversation sort of flows a little, and then it'll maybe stop, flow. That's a little bit, but again, all internally, all within the mind. Over time, you might start to hear, or you might start to become aware that these voices sound different to yours. So they might sound like a man's, or they might sound like a woman's, but that's sort of further down the line. First off, it's probably going to sound very much like you. Now, that's internal clairvoyance, so we're going to hear it inside of the mind. We have external clairvoyance, which is hearing with our own ears, which is what happens to me from time to time. I've got to be honest, it's a little spooky. It catches me off guard a little bit. This is where you hear people shout, oh, my name's being shouted, or, you know, you will hear somebody say hello, but it'll be right there as if it was somebody's voice. That's what we call external clairvoyance. Now, some people have that, some people don't. Big thing I need to say to you here is not everybody's a clairaudience medium. Not everybody has that ability. Some people will do it a lot better than others. Can it be homed and like trimmed and tidied in this? Yeah. But is it predominantly one of your main clairs? Probably not, you know, but it can be altered and it can be sort of improved upon. But ultimately, you might be that clairvoyant medium, or you may be that clairsentience medium. Learn to home skill the sets that are good to you. You always try to improve other ones that aren't as good, but don't get too heavily reliant upon clairaudience, because it may not be predominantly where you sit within your mediumship. But can you obviously improve it? Yes, you can improve any skill set, but it may not always be as strong as some of the other skill sets that you have. The other thing I need to talk to you about is how much are you listening? Now, mediums, when we're mediums, we need to be good talkers. We've got to be able to hold a good conversation. We've got to be able to do that for obviously demonstration of mediumship, so doing one-to-one sittings. But one thing that the spirit world brought to me very strongly when I was discussing this with them is the fact that we have this inability as humans not to listen too good. And when we're doing clairaudience, it's an ability to listen. It's an ability to understand. Lots of people listen to then reply. What we don't do is listen to understand where the spirit world may be coming from, what they're trying to get over, what it is that they may be trying to impress upon your mind. So learn to maybe ask yourself the question of, how good are my listening skills? Do they need improving? If so, where? Also, are you listening to reply, or are you listening to understand and have a bigger mind frame and a bigger picture and a bigger outlook on your clairaudience, or you as the individual? So these are just some of the things that I would want to put to you. If this is a choice, you know, you don't have to do that listening skill, but it's always an improvement as you use the instrument, and also an improvement of your mediumship, which I'm sure each and every one of you, when you are sitting here, are certainly sort of wanting to improve that skill set. So let's get to the exercises. Let's start with the basics. So the clairaudience normally comes in through a few different ways. So normally songs are a big thing when we're doing clairaudience. Now, lots of people listen to music, me included. I love music, and music's a really, really good way of improving clairaudience. Now, we're not looking at the beat, we're looking at the words. That's what we're trying to do. So what we do there is it's what we call voice recognition, which is part of clairaudience. Voice recognition or voice interpretation is picking up on the voice and what the voice may be trying to interpret, or what the song may be trying to interpret through the words. Not so much the beat. The beat's more the clairsentience. The words is more the clairaudience. So we need to sort of use that one as a basis to be able to understand clairaudience as well. And this is where I'd like to start you, with the exercises of the beginners. So for those who are the beginner, I would obviously make sure you've shifted your mind and you've gone to the spirit world. And then with the people who you have in front of you, so this is as if you were a group, we'll do the single one in a minute. You would ask the particular loved one of the person in front of you for a particular song that would be beneficial to this particular loved one in front of you. Now, that's because most of us have songs that resonate around loved ones. We all have a favorite couple of songs, you know, so this is quite an easy exercise for you, that is the individual, the medium, trying to improve this clairaudience. Now, it may just come in as 1 or 2 words. You might actually hear the song, which is even better, which is excellent. But if not, and you're just sort of getting a couple of the words, then obviously give them words. It's really important. Another one for the beginner who's an individual, what you could do is get the guide to step forward, using a little bit of the interpretation of the sitting in the power, or the techniques that are given the clairvoyancy one, which is to get the memory. Now, guided meditations or focused meditations are really good for this one. So what we could use is a waterfall, and what we want to do, we sort of want to put the clairvoyance to one side, because obviously we're going to be looking at that clairvoyance, and that's fine, but what we really want to be looking at is the water coming down the waterfall. What does it sound like? How is that hitting against the rocks? How's it falling into the pool? They sort of, what we're doing is listening to them words. We're hearing the noises within inside our mind. Most of this is probably going to be internal. Most of it's not going to be external. The majority of clairaudience is internal. So this is a really good technique for you as the beginner, and can do that one with the guides or just sitting on your own if so be. If you're working in the group parameters, or if you're training, that other one may be more beneficial. Now, for those who are the more advanced student, or for those who are looking to do the more advanced techniques, then there's this one. Now, this one's very much similar to clairvoyancy, but we're just going to flip it over and use it for clairaudience. So we're going to go for a memory. Now, when we do communications, memories tend to be quite a big thing. They tend to be one of the biggest things that the spirit world work with, because ultimately memories, we all build in memories every day, and everybody has a memory of a particular situation, a particular scenario in which that they did with their particular loved ones. So what we need to do again is, for the more advanced student, if they're working in pairs or within the group setting, we need to go away to the spirit world, ask them for a particular memory, and then what we want to do is, instead of speaking the imagery, we want to be looking at the words. The best one to do this is, so I do a lot of sitting work and a lot of private work, and one of the things that I do quite predominantly in there is talk about the conversations that used to be had between the particular loved one in the spirit world and here. Now, this is a kind of advanced one. So, for example, maybe the last words that were spoken before someone went to the spirit world, a particular conversation that was had between a loved one in dad or mom or brother or sister or, you know, daughter or son or whatever it may be. And that there will help you to improve that clairaudience, because that there is the conversation you're having to listen. You become like a bit like a, so you will see the imagery, dad, let's just use dad as an example because it's going to be easier, and daughter. You're like an ear listening in to that conversation of what was said between them two. Now, again, you might only get snippets and bits and pieces, but you should be able to fill the blanks in. And that's a really good way of being able to do an advanced one for them who have maybe already done some of the more basic ones, so they just understand the noises, which was with the waterfall and that type of thing. There are a couple of ones. Another one that can also be used, maybe it's for the advanced or maybe it's for the beginner, is when we're getting text messages or when we're getting sort of emails and things, look at the words. Feel the words, become aware of the words. Don't just sort of glide over them, which is what lots of us sort of do. We skim read. And what tends to happen is we just sort of pick out what we want and then obviously dump the rest. What you need to be doing is looking at the conversation, look at what's behind the back of the words. Because normally when we get words, we don't always look at what's behind the back of them. And that's where the true meaning is, behind the back of the words in which that's being spoken. So that's another sort of little technique or hint and tip I can give you there as well, for those who maybe are working clairaudience. For those who are working with the spirit world, again, for the beginner or maybe the more advanced student, is to start having this conversation. Now, lots of you are going to get panicked because you're going to think you're making it up. You're going to think that because it sounds like you, it's just you and there's nobody else there talking to you. What you have to understand here is that it is going to sound like you from the get-go, because ultimately it is you. It is your mind. It is going to sound like you, but over time it will start to alter and change as you become more and more aware of that clairaudience link. And what you want to do is just sort of sit and have that small conversation. So pull the guide forward and go, hello, you know, it's me, or whatever it is that you want to say. What is it you would like to talk to me about? And listen. Most mediums, when they go to guides, will go in and go, I want this, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do that. Why is this not working? Why is that not happening? Why is this? Instead of changing your words, and I've said this before about how we communicate with the spirit world is vitally important, and more so with clairaudience, and more so about us as individuals. How are you communicating? Because how you're communicating is going to get you the kinds of answers that you're looking for. So instead of going in there going, what can I get, what can I do, I want to do this, I want to change, I want to go in the spirit world with a clear mind and just say to the guides or to the spirit world, whether you know them or not, what is it that you would like to talk to me about? What is it that fundamentally you feel is important for me to know right now? And see what you get back, and learn to trust in that, learn to allow that. Learn to accept that what you get back is true, right, and accurate, and that there is no issues or problems here with this one. This is a toughie. It's not an easy clairaudience is not one that, you know, is going to come, you know, easily, unless you're working predominantly that way. Lots and lots of mediums want to work clairaudience, and lots of mediums because they want the names. What they don't realize is they can actually get the names even being clairvoyant. You can get the names, and I did a video, I'll stick that at the end, of getting names via clairvoyancy and also a couple of other techniques, because they can show you imagery which is just as good as the clairaudience. So learn to be monetarian. You could also, if you really want to work that way, go to the spirit world and ask them, look, I want to work clairaudience. The only thing I'll say to you there, mind, is they will change your work, or your work will change in order to accommodate that. Don't moan when your work changes because you have decided that, you know, you want to work clairaudience. You have to take personal responsibility of that. So be very monetarian of what it is that you're asking for, because you will always get what you want, just not in the way in which that you want it. I've got to give you that one there as well. I hope this video has been helpful. Please like, share and subscribe. You're helping massively here over on the channel. I cannot thank you enough. I want to say I am live on tomorrow, Tuesday night. I'm very excited. Woohoo! I like lives actually these days, especially unusual. I was actually going to come Sunday, but I thought, no. So I'm going to be there on Tuesday night. I think around about 7:30 UK time. Probably be around about dinner time. I think Pacific time, Eastern time maybe is about 9, 10 a.m. in the morning. So wherever you are in the world, you know, we certainly do come along. Bring your questions as well. It's always a pleasure. New Zoom classes are up. If you're interested in that, head to www.daniellehappymedium.com in training, Zoom and workshops, or you can email the email down below, and also the wish list is down there as well for the products and services that I need to help you continue to watch the channel and help to make the channel the best it can possibly be for you and for your development. So with lots and lots of love from me and the spirit world, this one definitely coming from the spirit world. I've been talking to them quite heavily over the last couple of weeks about it and where it was best for you as the individual. We love you lots here on the channel. I hope you are all working as hard as you can, and you know, don't be too tough on yourself if you don't get this one straight away. It will come given time. Lots and lots of love from me. Bye for now.
Like I was falling through the air. No one let myself to